Hey, heroes! Man superhero, woman superhero. Ready for a new story full of adventures and laughter? Grinning face with smiling eyes. Let's sit back and relax and begin our journey into the world of imagination. Before we begin, press like, thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, so our lovely family can grow even bigger. Sparkles, the Secret Map to Dream City, Extended Edition, Expanded Scenes, Sparkles. Sammy was a curious boy who lived in a small white house resting peacefully on top of a wide green hill overlooking a quiet village. From his bedroom window, he could see rooftops glowing orange at sunset, narrow roads winding gently between houses, and golden wheat fields stretching endlessly into the distance. A silver river curved through the valley like a shining ribbon, reflecting the sky above. Every evening, Sammy would sit beside his window with a warm lantern glowing softly next to him. He read stories of explorers, hidden kingdoms, and magical cities floating among the clouds. As the wind brushed lightly against his window, he often wondered if real adventures truly existed beyond the pages of his books. Deep inside his heart, he felt certain that something extraordinary was waiting for him. One rainy afternoon, when thunder rolled softly across the sky, Sammy climbed into the attic searching for something interesting. Dust floated in the air as beams of light slipped through the small window. In the corner rested his grandfather's old wooden chest, worn by time but still strong. Inside the chest were faded photographs, carefully folded letters, and a rusted compass that no longer pointed north. At the very bottom lay a rolled parchment tied neatly with a thin silver ribbon. The ribbon shimmered faintly as if it carried a secret of its own. When Sammy untied it, the parchment began to glow softly in his hands. Slowly, shining letters appeared, "The path to Dream City, for the brave only." The attic grew strangely warm, and the glowing map pulsed gently like a heartbeat. Though the rain had stopped outside, a soft breeze slipped through the open window and circled around him. A whisper echoed in the air, calm and clear, "Follow the silver river, trust the golden bird, listen to your heart." Sammy's heart raced, yet he did not feel fear. Instead, he felt chosen, as if the map had been waiting for him all along. He understood that this was not an ordinary discovery. It was the beginning of something magical. Before the sun rose the next morning, Sammy packed a small bag carefully. He placed inside it fresh bread, a bottle of water, a small blanket, and his favorite blue notebook where he wrote his thoughts and drawings. The village was still asleep as he quietly stepped outside. The cool morning air touched his face as he began walking down the hill. Each step felt important, as though the ground itself knew he was starting a great journey. Though nervousness fluttered in his chest, excitement shone brighter. After hours of walking through fields and along quiet paths, Sammy reached the silver river marked on the map. The water shimmered under the sunlight, sparkling like tiny stars. Sitting gracefully on a smooth stone nearby was a golden bird, its feathers glowing brightly. "You are searching for Dream City," the bird said in a calm, wise voice. Sammy nodded bravely, even though his voice felt small inside him. The bird explained that to continue, he must cross the Forest of Echoes, a place where hearts are tested. Then it spread its shining wings and disappeared into the sky. The Forest of Echoes was darker than any place Sammy had seen before. Tall trees blocked the sunlight, and their branches twisted high above him. As he stepped forward, strange whispers surrounded him. "Turn back, go home, you are not strong enough." Every footstep he took echoed loudly, repeating his fears back to him. The deeper he walked, the heavier his thoughts became. Doubt crept slowly into his heart like cold mist. Just as fear began to overwhelm him, tiny fireflies appeared one by one, glowing gently in the darkness. They formed a soft golden path leading forward. Sammy realized that whenever he focused on the whispers, they grew louder, but when he focused on the light, they faded. Gathering his courage, he followed the glowing trail. Step by step, his confidence grew stronger than his fear. Eventually, he stepped out of the forest and into bright sunlight once more. Ahead of him stretched a deep canyon with no visible bottom. Across it shimmered a delicate bridge made entirely of light. It looked fragile, almost unreal. Sammy hesitated at the edge, his heart pounding loudly. He reminded himself that bravery does not mean being fearless, it means moving forward despite fear. Taking a deep breath, he stepped onto the glowing bridge. To his surprise, it felt solid beneath his feet. With each step he took, the light beneath him grew brighter, responding to his trust. On the other side rose a tall mountain that seemed to block the sky itself. The climb was steep and exhausting. His hands scraped against rough stone, and his legs trembled from effort. Halfway up, he slipped and nearly fell into the open air. Doubt filled his mind, whispering that he should give up. But he remembered his grandfather's words about courage growing stronger with every challenge. Steadying his breath, he continued climbing, refusing to surrender to fear. At the summit floated a magnificent gate made of glowing clouds. When it slowly opened, Sammy saw islands drifting gently in a bright blue sky. Carefully, he jumped from one floating island to another. On each island, he saw memories from his life, moments of kindness, honesty, bravery, and friendship. He realized that each good memory created the next step forward, building the path ahead of him. As Sammy moved forward, more islands formed beneath his feet, shaped by the goodness he had once shown others. His smallest acts of kindness now carried great power. His heart felt lighter, filled with understanding. He realized that the journey was not about discovering something new, it was about recognizing what had always lived inside him. At the end stood a giant clock tower floating in the sky, ticking loudly and steadily. Inside waited an old guardian with silver hair and calm eyes. "Time tests patience," the guardian said quietly. Sammy wanted to rush forward, but instead he chose to wait. He listened to the ticking clock and calmed his breathing. When the clock struck 12, a hidden door opened slowly, rewarding his patience. Beyond the door stretched a peaceful blue ocean reflecting the sky. When Sammy looked into the water, he did not see his reflection, he saw his fears staring back at him. Fear of failure, fear of loneliness, fear of not being enough. His heart trembled, but he whispered bravely, "You are only fears. You are not my future." The ocean began to glow and slowly parted, revealing a shining path beneath its surface. The path led to a beautiful garden filled with children planting bright flowers in rich soil. Laughter filled the air like music. Sammy knelt down and planted a small blue flower of his own, pressing the soil gently around it. A warm voice surrounded him like sunlight, "Kindness is the strongest magic." He felt warmth spread through his chest as he stood up once more. Ahead stood a massive golden gate guarded by a huge dragon with shimmering red and gold scales. Smoke curled gently from its nostrils as it watched him carefully. Instead of fighting or running, Sammy slowly removed his bread and offered it to the dragon. "You must be lonely guarding this gate," he said softly. Surprised by his kindness, the dragon smiled gently and stepped aside, allowing him to pass. The golden gate opened to reveal Dream City, sparkling towers reaching high into the sky, glowing streets filled with laughter, and peaceful faces everywhere. A wise woman approached him and said gently, "Dream City lives in the hearts of those who choose courage when afraid, patience when tested, and kindness when it is hardest." Suddenly, everything shimmered. Sammy found himself back in his bedroom, standing by the window overlooking his quiet village. In his hands was his blue notebook. Inside, written in shining letters, were the words, "Dream City lives within you." From that day on, Sammy no longer searched for adventure in distant lands, he carried its light inside his heart wherever he went. Sparkles. Sparkles. And so Sammy discovered that Dream City was never a distant place hidden beyond mountains or skies. It was a light that had always lived inside him, growing brighter every time he chose courage over fear, patience over frustration, and kindness over anger. Glowing star. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel bell, and share it with someone who needs a little reminder that their dream city lives within them too. Tell us in the comments. What would your dream city look like? Thought balloon sparkles. Until our next adventure, keep believing, keep dreaming, and most importantly, keep shining. Crescent moon.